presents Business Meetings, a special 10-episode course to teach you business vocabulary in English. In this course, you'll learn vocabulary for formal and informal business meetings.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. I already set up streaming on Facebook and in a YouTube channel. And now I setting something about me. My name is Trung Phang, and about 3 years ago, I tried to focus on learning English. I think about 3 years ago, I cannot speaking, and I decided to focus on my speaking skill because I think I try to in the past when I in high school or university, I'm so lazy for learning English. But when I graduate, I go to work. I work in a logistics, and English is very important for everyone, especially in my business. And at that time, I just recognize, but I don't have time because with many job, many in my working, I have a lot of things to do. But I try to listen, and it one of first book, audio book I listening is a day in the life of Jeff. I think I listening this book about nearly until now is 10 years. This book published about I remember about 2006, and but I think it's a good book for me and for everyone because it talk about everyday activity on one boy, and we have another version one girl. It talk about in the morning we have showers and have breakfast, ready for work, on the way go to work, and in working, and on the way come back home, and at lunch and midnight, on activity for one people in one day, and it have a lot of vocabulary. And in this book, we have about two parts. It's about the main constant, and it's second. But in the first time, you will hear listening is bit slowly speed. And it a second part is explanation of the story. With the part one, it's about maybe 10 minutes for every lesson. But about the explanation, they maybe to about no sorry. One in the part one, it's about just some minutes. Maybe I think I remember about just about one, maybe 5 minutes. It's short because, and in the explanation, it's about maybe 20 minutes. And at the end, they will read in as a normal speak. It means it's a little quickly. And in this book, we already have a new vocabulary. Yes, I will show you. Oh, I put it's book in maybe August. in September. It's nearly 1 year. Okay. By the way, I introducing my website. It's a website I share the audiobook for everyone. And one thing you you have to the book when you request the book. I hope you read with me. So now I try to focus on develop my YouTube channel, and when you request a book, you have to subscribe my channel. If in announce you are subscribe my channel, I will to active your request. Every day I receive in about maybe 100 requests, but in recently about maybe 5 or 10 requests a day. But I don't receive any subscribe YouTube from you. And I also to make a group for everyone to connect with everybody people together. So on the way I learning, I try to connect with all of you. My job in logistics, especially in the customers, and I try to connect with all friends in the world, especially in Africa or in India, because it's my main I mean native, not native, from the who people live there. I can speak with them. Okay, I will introduce my lesson today. It's about today I will be reading lesson 1, episode 1, getting up. It have about vocabulary. It's on English, but I think if you first time when I listening is I don't understand anything. But for a long time, maybe 4 or 5 years later, I understand. Okay, I try to listen in them like my hobby. When I'm go to sleep, before I go to sleep, I listen in them. And while I sleeping, I still listen in them. Okay, it's a complete transcript. ESLPod.com, lesson a day live chat. Episode 10 episode called to teach you everyday vocabulary in English. This is Dr. Jeff McCullen from the Center for Education Development in the beautiful Los Angeles, California. Okay, now I think I have to read in slowly and try to correct my my wrong because I think you know good. Today I'm sharing with you, not teaching you. I hope you can do either way I do because I'm not. I think learning English need to practice and more needs a long time. And I think because I read in them about more than 5 years, not every day, but about I read in them about sometimes a week. But about in listening them, I try to listen in them every day. Every day about one lesson or about short time. If I have free time, I will listen more one lesson. But if I have free time, I try to listening. I have the um, the headphone and I listen them while I ride motorbike, while I do the homework, housework, maybe homework or housework, like What this what's this? What this is? Yeah. Okay. And I'll be the host for this series. In this course, you learn the vocabulary for everyday action, from getting up in the morning to going back at night and anything in between. I think one thing I want to share with you, because maybe someone recently I'm done practice my English skill because I'm busy with my son. He go to school, but his health not so strong. And about when he go to school about one day, someday, and he sick and he stay at home about 1 week or 2 week, and it's make me I think because it's my son and I feel not happy about us. So that reason I can focus on my English. And today I try to make this video, and every day I will to try to learning from the beginner. And about some time later, I will to connect with all of you because I have to organize about the confidence group for everyone to join together and can because learning English need the practice, and you have to find someone to practice, especially if foreign people. I also learn with I uh, I go to in a social media like Facebook. I ask a friend and I talk with them uh, who it need to practice English in the not in Vietnam, because in my website a lot of people from everywhere in the world asking the book, and when I asking book and I talking with them, and it's make me have more friend, but just a short time about one time or two time because they when they have the book and they I think everyone have their own the way they learning, and but with me I using technology for learning. uh, I learning by recording my voice. I upload in a YouTube channel for checking my voice. When I think the first time the YouTube not cannot recognize my voice because I'm learning in a way in a Vietnam way Vietnam language without any sound, without anything. I think just like Vietnam people talk together. But now I feel better. And one thing I share with you in the first time when I learn English, I'm so shy. I'm not feel. Now I feel more confident when I speaking to the all of you. But in the first time when I learning, I never talk. I remember when I go to a lab about 2 or 3 years in that lab, I never talk. Sometimes the teacher asking me, "Are you okay? You understand?" I say, "Yes, yes, okay," but not. And about 3 years recently, I try to speak out, and everything I speak is wrong. I think at the first time, at that time, I think I speak is okay because my listening skill is better, and I imagine in my thinking the the nice I think the voice from the or the voice from the my listening from my listening. It's not my voice. Um, I think I speak is right, but uh, in fact, in fact, actually, my mouth is wrong way and so funny. I think today because I want to make this series for learning English with you. Because on my video in the past, I'm not published. I hope now I publish my video. But maybe when I watch again and I feel shy because I think the video is not good, and I will delete it, delete them. Because now I share with two channel in YouTube and two channel in my Facebook. I don't know everyone is watching me. I think I don't care. If you're watching me and learning with me, I'm so happy. I learned it for myself, not for you. Okay, and when you see my video and you laugh at me, I think in the past I worry about that, but now I don't care. Okay, it's my way for learning English. Today I'm sharing a lot. Maybe now about maybe 15 minutes. I'm not finished my lesson. Okay, now I continue my lesson. The lesson has three parts. First, the story reads slowly. Second, an explanation of the story and the vocabulary we use. And third, the story reads at a normal speed. Are you ready? Let's begin with lesson 1. Getting up. The worst part day for me is definitely when I have to get up. Waking up that I can handle, but getting up that I hate. The covers I have on my bed are heavy, mostly because I have a comforter as well as a light blanket. I sleep with two pillows, but for some reason I have different color pillowcases. Well, at least the sheets match. I sometimes wake up before the alarm goes off. I like to keep the alarm at a low volume with some classical music, nothing too jarring. My old roommate used to like the terrible buzzer that you find on most alarm clock nowadays, which always used to drive me nuts. As I was saying, I sometimes wake up before the alarm, usually because of some noise outside the house, a car door slamming, an alarm going off, gunfire. Well, okay, not gunfire, but man, in my neighborhood's noisy. Of course, when I'm staying in a hotel, it's easier to just get a wake up call from the hotel than set the alarm. I'm not really an early riser, so I don't jump out of bed ready to take on the world. I get up very slowly, usually one foot on the floor at a time. Every once in a while, I oversleep, but not so often. I really love the weekends when I can sleeping. Okay, we finish in a part one, and the next part we will read in explanation of story. It talk about what does it mean and the way we use this vocabulary in this way. First time, if you reading or listening is you don't understand, but in the second part you will understand them and some the simple word and they still explain with more specific. Okay, we continue. Our story begins by me describing how much I do not like getting up. I get up mean I get out your bed to stand up after have been lying down on a bed. I say that the worst part of the day is when I have to get up, waking up that I can handle. To wake up uh, to work means that you are sleeping and you stop sleeping and now you are awake. The verb is to wake up. So you can wake up while you are in a bed and then you get up. You stand up after lying down. I say I said that waking up is something that I can handle. To handle here mean to be able to control something that I can manage, something that I can accept. It's not a problem. Another expression would be something I can deal with. To deal with something, I mean, in this case, I able to handle something. I think I will looking my Facebook for something. Okay. Another yes, it's okay. I want to watching my streaming in case someone to comment in my streaming. Okay. Okay, now I can watching to YouTube channel and to Facebook channel. Okay, it's perfect. YouTube. I love technology and I spend a lot of time in social media. I think it's not connect together. I love like everyone. I like to social media. Okay, sorry. I say that I get up is something that I hate. Okay. I say that getting up is something that I hate. The covers I have on my bed are heavy. The covers are a thing that you put over you to keep you warm. Usually, the cover a blanket, sometimes a comforter, and usually what we would call a top sheet or the flat sheet. A comforter is a very thick blanket, a very heavy blanket. A blanket is something that you put over you when you are sleeping to keep you warm. A blanket is a general term. A blanket is a kind of blanket, a heavy blanket. Uh, the opposite uh, of the comforter would be a light blanket. A light blanket would be opposite. That a blanket that will will keep you warm, but if it gets cold, it may not keep you warm. It may not be as sufficient. So we have a comforter and we have a light blanket. Usually there is a top sheet that you put over you in between your body and a blanket. And this top sheet is sometimes called a flat sheet. The sheet it did work, and maybe when I share spell sometime wrong, and one the meaning in other in Vietnam is a terrible meaning. That's going on the bed itself. That's going onto the corners of the bed. That's called a fitted sheet. A fitted sheet. So we have a fitted sheet on the bed that you sleep on top of. Then we have a top sheet and then a blanket. Sometimes if it's very cold, a comforter as well. I say it's a story that I sleep with two pillow. A pillow is what you put your head on when you sleep. Now for some reason I have a different color pillowcases. It is true. Actually, I have a black pillowcase and a pillowcase for my two pillows. I think the reason is I'm so lazy to go and buy a new pillowcase. Well, the pillowcase is the thing that you put over the pillow so the pillow doesn't get dirty. We call that a pillowcase. I say, well, at least the sheet must. We already know what a sheet is when we say the sheet match. Match, where we mean that they are same color or two color that look good together. We use that verb too much when we are talking about clothing, well, and anything where you have two colors. I sometimes wake up before the alarm goes off. When we say the alarm goes off, we mean that the alarm starts make a sound. Your alarm is a machine that makes a noise at a constant time. Usually it has a lock. Well, I sometimes wake up before the alarm make noise. My alarm goes off. I like to keep the alarm at a low volume, meaning not very loud, at a low volume with some logical music, nothing too tiring. When we say a sound is jarring, we mean that a cloud and its her house you to jump or to be surprised. It sometimes that is not very nice, not very pleasant. A jarring noise would be on the brother that perhaps because it's very loud or it is not very nice sound. So I don't want to my alarm to have a jarring noise. Instead, I play classical music. Now my old roommate, the person I used to share an apartment with, used to like the terrible buzzer that you find on most alarm lock. This here again is true. I had a roommate that had a very loud and bad sounding buzzer. That's were a terrible buzzer. The buzzer is when some alarm clock doesn't play the music, but it's just like a sound. Sometimes it's like a bell ringing. That's a buzzer. Well, this buzzer always used to drive me nuts. I write someone nuts mean to rise them crazy, to make them crazy, to make them go crazy. I continue to story by saying, I was saying, I said, we use that expression. I was saying, when we talk about one thing, then we start talking about a second thing. And now we want to go back and talk about the first thing again. So when we interrupt yourself when you are talking, and then you change the topic, change the what you are talking about, and then want to go to back the origin topic. You say, as I was saying, I was saying is sometimes wake up before the alarm, usually because of some noise outside the house. When we say there is some noise, some sound outside the house, uh, or outside the house, you can either one. We mean that someone is make a noise that is very loud. Some of those noises are the car's door slamming. The verb is slam, which means that you close the door usually very quickly and you make a loud noise. Someone close their car door very fast. I will make a noise. We call that a slamming the door. My mother always used to tell me that I was young when I was young, don't slam the door. Meaning, uh, when I come in and close the door, I should close it slowly and quiet. Of course, when I was not a good, so I would sometimes slam the door. I was saying an alarm goes off. That uh, other noise that can wake you up. Outside, and this would be a car alarm. Here in Los Angeles, everyone has a car alarm, and sometimes those alarms go up at night. Another noise is gunfire. Gun gunfire is when someone shoot shoot a gun and it make a noise. This is again Los Angeles. So sometimes have a gunfire, but of course I'm joking. I say, well, okay, not gunfire. Mean I'm just kidding. That isn't actually true, although it's true sometimes. I then say, man, in my neighborhood noisy. That expression mean it's just a way to expressing your emotion when you are saying something that you really mean or really want to emphasize. And one thing, it's some work I don't understand, I will double it in this work and it will show the how to spell like that.
Emphasize.
Men's in my neighborhood noisy. Does mean my neighborhood is noisy? Of course, uh, when I'm staying in a hotel, it's usually easier to just a wake up call from the hotel. A wake up call is when a hotel call you on the phone to wake you up. So you don't have set your own alarm. To set an alarm means to turn it on and it put a custom time that you want to get up. Well, sometimes people have a problem with their alarm clock, and so if they are in a hotel, they can ask the hotel to wake them up with a wake up call. Uh, at the end of story, I say I'm not really an early riser. An early riser means someone who wake up and gets up very early in the morning. You could be an early riser. You could be a late riser. The word riser come from the verb to rise, which which mean to get up. Well, I'm not really an early riser. I say so. I don't jump out of bed. To jump out of bed means to get out of the bed very quickly. I don't jump out of bed ready to take on the world. To take on the world means I'm ready to for the day. It's an expression we use to say that I'm ready to go out into the world and do my best. I'm not an early riser. I don't jump out of bed ready to take on the world. Instead, I get up very slowly, usually one foot on the floor at a time. So first I get up and I put one foot on the floor and then another foot on the floor and then I stand up. Every once in a while I say I oversleep. To oversleep mean that you sleep later than you should. For example, you are wanting to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you sleep until 7:30. You don't realize that you are sleeping too late. We call that oversleeping. To oversleep means that you sleep longer than you wanted to. At the end of story, I really the week love the weekend, Friday and Saturday. Friday and Saturdays when I can sleeping, I sleep in mean that you don't get up at a normal speak time, you sleep longer than you normal do. So if you are normal gets up at 7 on on a Sunday, if you don't work, you may sleep in until in the 9 a.m. Now let's listen the story. This is this time at a national race. I'm a speech. Okay, now in the park, we finish in the parks too, and I will to try to reading more quickly. And some one problem when I speak quickly, I forgot the ending sound a lot. So funny. Okay. Oh my, about maybe 40 minutes. One lesson from the about 30 lesson, 30 minutes, and I sharing about 10 or 20 minutes. I think it's okay. The worst part day for me is definitely when I have to get up. Waking up that I can handle, but getting up that I hate. The covers I have on my bed are heavy, mostly because I have a comforter as well as a light blanket. I sleep with two pillows, which for some reason have different color pillowcases. Well, at least the sheets match. I sometimes wake up before the alarm goes up. I like to keep the alarm at a low volume with some classical music, nothing too jarring. My old roommate used to like the terrible buzzer that you find on the most alarm clock nowadays, which always used to drive me nuts. I was saying I sometimes wake up before the alarm, usually because of some noise outside the house, a car door slamming, an alarm going off, gunfire. Well, okay, not gunfire, but man, in my neighborhood noise. Of course, when I'm staying in a hotel, it's usually easier to just get a wake up call from the hotel than set the alarm. I'm not really an early riser, so I don't jump out of bed ready to take on the world. I get up very slowly, usually one foot on the floor at a time. Every once in a while, I oversleep, but not so often. I really love the weekend when I can lisping. Okay, we finished. Now we already to finish the lesson one. I think it's time for me to stop recording. Okay, before I say goodbye to you, I hope when you're watching this video, you will click on the subscribe in my YouTube channel or follow in my Facebook fan page. And I show two website, no, one website. It's about for Vietnamese, for easy to remember, and it's for the foreign people to remember. Okay, see you on the next lesson.